Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our MESAT Bulletin, and we shall start with our headlines. Syrian troops capture northern parts of rebel-held Aleppo. Manila police detonate improvised bomb near U.S. Embassy. And moving on to our details, starting with Syria's profile. Syrian government forces and their allies captured another major eastern Aleppo neighborhood and several smaller areas on Monday, putting much of the northern parts of Aleppo's rebel-held areas under government control for the first time in 4 years. Russia's defense ministry said the areas captured by Syrian government troops include 10 neighborhoods and over 3,000 buildings in the past few days. The ministry added that more than 100 rebels have let down their arms and exited the Syrian city's eastern suburbs. With Monday's capture of Sahur, the rebels are now left boxed in mostly in central and southeastern Aleppo, encircled by government territory on all sides. Meanwhile, the Israeli military says it has carried out an airstrike in Syria on a building used by Islamic State militants to attack Israeli forces. The overnight airstrike on Monday targeted an abandoned United Nations building that Israel says was used as a base by the militants, but there were no reports of injuries. The Israeli military said in Sunday's clash, militants affiliated with the IS group opened fire at an Israeli patrol on the Israeli side of the Golan Heights. Israeli aircraft quickly responded, killing 4 militants in an airstrike on a machine gun-mounted vehicle. On to Sanaa's crisis, Yemeni officials say at least 13 civilians have been killed by an airstrike by the Saudi-led military coalition in a western port city. The officials said on Monday that airstrikes hit 2 homes in rural areas northeast of Hodaydah, which is under control of the country's Shiite rebels. Among the victims are women and children, according to medical officials. The airstrikes, which took place on Saturday, also destroyed telecommunications towers. From another aspect, the coalition intervened in Yemen in March 2015 at the request of the internationally recognized government after the rebels seized the capital Sana'a and started pushing southward. And going to New Delhi, thousands of people demonstrated across India on Monday to protest the government's sudden decision to withdraw large denomination currency from circulation. Nearly 3 weeks ago, Prime Minister Narendra Modi announced that 500 and 1,000 rupee notes would become worthless overnight and would be replaced by new currency in a bid to stamp out corruption and tax evasion. The surprise decision pulled 86% of the country's money supply out of circulation, leading to serpentine lines at banks, which often ran short of currency. On the other hand, opposition parties have criticized the policy, saying the government mismanaged the currency change. On the other side of the world, Spain arrested 4 people suspected of having links to an illegal migration network believed to have been used by the Islamic State group to move militants to Europe, including those involved in last year's Paris attacks. The Interior Ministry said the 4 had links with the so-called Syrian refugee route that the Islamic group is thought to have used to get the Paris attackers to Europe via the Greek island of Leros in October 2015. From another perspective, police believe the 4 arrested on Monday had contacts with 2 extremists arrested in Salzburg, Austria, shortly after the November 2015 attacks. On another side, an improvised bomb found on Monday in a trash bin near the U.S. Embassy and detonated by police has the same design as one used by local sympathizers of the Islamic State group in the 2nd of September bomb attack that killed 15 people in southern Davao City. The Philippine National Police Chief said police are theorizing that Maoist militants could be behind Monday's attempted act of terrorism that appeared to target the U.S. Embassy. Officials also said the improvised bomb fashioned from an 81mm mortar round cell phone, blasting cap and a small battery could have been powerful enough to kill people within 100 meters. Meanwhile, North Korea is observing a 3-day period of mourning for Fidel Castro. The North has ordered flags outside official buildings be flown at half-staff to honor Castro, according to what the country's state media reported on Monday. It's worth mentioning that the iconic Cuban leader died on Friday at age 90. In addition, reports from Pyongyang said North Korean leader Kim Jong-un sent a wreath to the Cuban embassy and that a delegation of senior North Korean officials has left for Havana to attend Castro's memorial services. And moving on to our economic news, uncertainty over whether OPEC countries will back an oil production cut at their meeting this week weighed on global stock markets on Monday. In Europe, Germany's DAX index was down 0.7% to 10,630, while the CAC 40 in France fell 0.5% to 4,526. The FTSE 100 index of leading British shares was 0.3% lower at 6,819. U.S. stock markets were poised for a lower opening with Dow futures and the broader S&P 500 futures down 0.2%. Moreover, the Shanghai Composite Index gained 0.5% to 3,277, and Tokyo's Nikkei 225 gave up 0.1% to 18,356.89. And finally, Zimbabwe has issued its own currency for the first time since 2009 to try to ease betting shortages of the US dollar. Banks started issuing the new currency called bond notes on Monday. Previously, the US currency had been Zimbabwe's main medium of trade. The central bank, the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe, said the new notes will come in $2 and $5 denominations, although only $2 notes are being issued on Monday. From another aspect, in 2008 and 2009, the state's central bank printed so much of its currency, the Zimbabwe dollar, that the country experienced mind-boggling hyperinflation that reached 500 billion%. And before ending our news, let's take another look at the most important headlines for today. Syrian troops capture northern parts of rebel-held Aleppo. Manila police detonate improvised bomb near U.S. Embassy. And we reached the end of our NISAT bulletin for today. Thank you for joining us and see you tomorrow in a new bulletin.